Welcome grade 12 students. You can use this video to help you go through the process of evaluating the information sources presented in Module 2 and Module 3. We will be evaluating quickly the accuracy, authority, objectivity, currency, and coverage. By no means do you have to do things the exact same way as I'm doing them here, but it'll help you with some ideas on what type of notes you should be making for next class. So first of all, let's look at the accuracy. When evaluating the accuracy, you should be looking for errors, editors, fact checkers, verifications, and a reference section. So one of the things that should pop out to you very first in this article is its lack of reference section. There's no references given, and there's no editor, fact checkers, or any other sorts of verifications within the article. That makes it very difficult for you to know if the information being presented in this article is truthful. Secondly, you may also want to look at the authority. So look at who the author is, who the publisher is, how reputable they are, what qualifications they have. And again, this article has a big lack in that. There's no author present, either at the top or at the bottom, other than referencing the website name, which is youngagain.eu. Young Again, perhaps that's a little biased. You may want to research more into what this youngagain.eu is. Upon further inspection, you can see that when you go to the homepage youngagain.eu, it's actually not a publisher section, but a company that sells HGH releasers, HGH energizers, HGA spray. So maybe that publisher is not the most reputable one that you could find. Next, objectivity. When evaluating the objectivity, we should look at the possible sources of bias, different arguments presented, and if you feel that your opinion is blatantly trying to be swayed. So as we just saw before, one of the big issues is that this company, youngagain.eu, is selling human growth hormone supplements and other different supplements like GenF20. In the article, there's even a link to the GenF20 website, which is another place where you can order human growth hormone supplements. So again, you may see that as a source of possible bias in the production of this article. Currency. This website is missing any sort of reference to when it was published. You do not know if since this website was created, if more research has been done, if the research they are citing is current. So lastly, you want to look at the coverage. When evaluating the coverage, you want to look at what topics and ideas are being presented and how in-depth they're being presented. One thing that stuck out to me was this reference made to two different studies, one by Rubin and one by Franco-Solomon. Again, because there was no references presented, I had to independently search these out, and one study is on people with growth hormone deficiencies, which again is not your average person, and the same effects may not be seen in an individual like you and me. And the second study is on elderly men, which again, elderly men have significantly less growth hormone being secreted than a youth or a middle-aged adult, so their findings may not be relevant to your typical HGH user or high-performance athlete. Again, on this same trend, there's lots of references made to specific scientific studies, statistics, and evidence, and yet there's no reference section, so you don't know where these tests have been done, who conducted them, or what their specific results were. Overall, after reading this website, I would still be a little wary of going out and buying HGH and supplementing my athletics that way. So similar to how we just did here, go back to two other sources, one from Module 2 and one from Module 3, and evaluate the sources similarly so you can decide whether HGH supplements will help you win the contest in a safe way.